Blocking that one in.
He's not allowed.
Blocking, get it. The Akali for Faker, though, this is something that he's found a lot of success on, especially this season. This is one of the picks that he's still just incredible at making work, even though his laning phase this season KC.
Yeah, because meanwhile, bot lane, Pay's never even moved, and now Keria looking.
Yeah, looking for another angle. Is Busio going to have to flash? Pay's now going to be moving as he looks to try and get some damage down. Busio going to live through the ignite, though, and now Keria needs to get himself out of the way. Some defense here from Ona, but he gets into the fog of war. Gets that health back. The flash bone skewer as Kalist now has to flash away, and Ona's made his way in. That's first blood for the Nocturne, and Pay's even manages to get the execute before going down. Yike will fall as well. It's a 2-for-1 for T1. This battle of former and current T1 top laners. It is the Jace doing a good job. Busio, great sidestep there, but he's still very, very dead. That's going to be the auto to come through from Pay's. Execution! And oh dear.
All of a sudden, all it takes, QER, and you are basically just gone.
Well, Keria looked for the angle there. Another bone skewer is going to connect, and Kalist is extraordinarily dead. Nothing the Ashe could do. Tried to take Keria with him, but
this is the kind of game that KC really needs to try to slow down the pace. They have a lot of scaling.
Oh, another bone skewer connects there. Even the route to connect onto Kalist as Busio's just dead. Pay's gets the execution one more time. The daggers aren't going.
1v1 in mid in this melee versus range. He's up a couple CS.
Yeah, he's actually doing fine.
A slight gold lead.
Oh, another bone skewer to come through here as at least Yike is able to secure his Grump. Congratulations. That does,
something.
Yeah, that is something. I've got the silver lining.
Okay.
All right, this is a very dark cloud.
Might be more of an iron lining in this one.
Yeah, but Keria had probably the best Pyke game I have ever seen this season. They did not win. So maybe there's something there. Ulti to come through as Kalist.
So it wasn't the worst possible thing to happen, but now Busio, unfortunately, he is probably going to get dove here.
Well, there's a fight going on elsewhere as well as Yike looking for Faker. He goes into the Shroud, though, and just ults away. That is going to be Pay's on a killing spree. Keria, and it's actually kind of cute, right? Goes from playing against Morgan to playing against Kana. It is kind of just like a reunion in the top lane as far as the T1 matchups are concerned. As Ona going to take one of the grubs. Paranoia comes through pretty defensively here as the fear is not quite going to work out too much. But now Doran just dives in, goes actually to the skies into the middle of 3 people, and then wanders away. Ooh. The arrow is going to sail by, and T1 now realizing that they can go back, looking for the 2-for-1 grub straight, and Yike has to get out of there. Pay's looking for Kalist as well, who's just not allowed to lane if it's a 1v1.
A very important one throughout the series.
Well, I hope that it gets more important as well. Good flash away from Kalist, who does manage to land the arrow. I believe Rebuttal was on cooldown, but the Paranoia, and Ona comes in and just puts him down. Another bone skewer to come on through, and obviously that one's going to hit. And Keria does go down as the response, and Yike will be able to survive, but they did at least...
Moving around, knowing you just want to keep invading, you want to keep the pressure up, do not allow Yike any space to be able to recover.
Ulti comes through here as Yike does avoid a bit of the damage, but he was never winning that 1v1. Pay's is able to put him down. Oh dear, that looked like a little bit of a sign of desperation as Doran going 1v3 here towards his top side. He wants in on the fun, but I have a feeling he may just be going down, turns his attention to the wave, and will be falling. So there's a little bit more back here for Kaza.
Advantage. If you can somehow stabilize the game at this deficit and farm and farm and farm, then you are going to have a chance in a fight.
How did that hit? That didn't look very fair. Kana is going to come through and try and defend as Keria still wanting to find an angle as he gets hit by the kitchen sink and taken down.
Okay, Keria, you're having a little too much fun, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the mini-map. No one from his team is anywhere near him. He was
I think he's been listening to all of those people saying he's the best player in the world, and it's got to his head. As now Pay's looking for Yahoo one more time here towards his bottom side as we finally have a mage matchup. But man, yeah, maybe he was actually reading what Busio was saying. As there's a Paranoia towards the bottom side of the map. Ona is just going to put down Yahoo. And I do want to say something about this. We did have Ona's stats come up before, like 42-8 was the win rate. But one of those losses was against Hanwha Life Esports. There's a reason why T1 are our 2nd seed, and it's because Hanwha were able to win that best of 5. And Ona's Nocturne was just not that good. But historically, it has been a lot more like this, where he just wins. Doran going to take down Yike here as T1 just Owner is going to grab the double dragon.
I'll give it to you.
Thanks, man.
No problem.
Appreciate
it's a charge. You got 2 charges of it.
Yeah, you do. You got one charge, does one thing. Another charge does a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Theoretically, different ability, but that's all right.
Completely different flip.
It's like Silas. He's got
like, all 5 of them. There's no one right now answering Faker in the bot lane, so they're going to try to overload and potentially make a play here.
Oh, Pays might be taken down. The rebuttal now on cooldown. The arrow is going to hit, and Yike going to get over that wall. Pays will be shut down finally as Keria trying to Doran as well. Oftentimes with this Grasp Jace build, we do see the Black Cleaver, but wanted to go to ripping out that shield as quickly as possible. As Owner with the Dustbringer, seeing what he can do. Boostio getting an encore, and it actually manages to clip Faker. Goes into the Shroud, though, to keep himself safe. And now just going to dash in, realizes that he was going to go down, tried to get whatever he could, and that, in fact,
because T1 has been pushing everywhere, taking every objective. You know, they got that second dragon uncontested. They're going to take the Herald uncontested. They got the 3 grubs. You know,
it's ridiculous.
And that's always the scary thing, is that T1 managed to be so composed in all these games, and a lot of it really does come down to the amount of times that
here today in this game, as he does teleport away, not wanting to get dove.
Yep.
Keria makes his way up and just going to cross map, and they might be able to take an inner turret off the back of that in trade for probably some bounty gold. As the Rift Herald is thrown down, is this inhibitor turret?
I think it is. That's what I was going to say, is that Kalist, you know, is up here on the top side working the tower, but KC sent 4 members there to try to make that play. Faker was already at the tower, and they dropped the Herald, so they're going to get the tier 2 easily. They get 3 plates off that as well, and Keria is still just soaking experience on this top side, being annoying. They pushed in mid lane, now they're taking away jungle camps.
One in every scenario, and that is
here.
What's happening. The unstoppable onslaught comes through. The flash over from Kana. They really want to kill Dora and try and get something off the back of this play. Shockwave, fantastic from Yahoo, using the Scion in order to get not too much more going to come of it.
Exactly. I mean, you're just looking to the top side jungle. Owner is taking your red buff. Faker is working on your tier 2 tower, and they're engaged.
They're also going to take Busio as well, by the looks of things, as there is the Bone Skewer to connect. Death from below is named very correctly. Keria is going to help lock down aggressive, but T1, they're still looking for more, as Keria wanting to take down Busio, gets a stun, and that's going to set up for the reset to come on through.
Oh, no.
Owner also will just kill Yike, and it's all just started to fall apart for KC. If it hadn't...
Yep. They need a hill.
That might be okay.
And the push. They're back in business.
All right, Kanner, it's up to you. You're the big lumberjack that can run pretty fast. We're going to need this Scion to make some stuff happen, but I don't know. I think it's a 9.5k gold advantage. There's a stun on Doran. The unstoppable onslaught is going to come through as well. Q going to get charged as Kalist trying to do damage to Doran, and it's just not going to work. Doran, though, going to show him how it's done as before he goes down.
Camp of Yikes. He did the red buff, then went down to the blue buff, killed Yike on it, took his blue buff.
It's a
now
Flame
he's back
Horizon.
on the top side.
It's a Flame Horizon in 10 CS in the jungle.
Crazy
at 21 minutes.
I mean, look at Kalist farm as well, right?
Yeah.
Owner is 60 CS up on the enemy AD carry.
All right, well, Yike is going to get paranoid, and I do not blame him. Will be taken out here as Kana. Yeah, not going to be able to help that situation at all. And maybe the Flame Horizon just happens now. He needs 12, like 3 camps. Just got to take 3 camps. All right, there's a beautiful rebuttal as Busio just going to get executed by Pays. Dash cannon to try and get himself a little bit further away. Good side. The one that coined how a shellacking is supposed to work. A very quick victory under 25 minutes. This might be heading in that direction, but we'll see. There is the paranoia to come down very defensively, though, as he actually uses it to reposition. Owner gets in there. It'll be a big shutdown, and that is going to go over to Yahoo. Keria getting amongst it, though, as we can see. 1 versus 3 now, as the ulti from Pays comes on down, and that is going to lock up a kill, but Pays getting a little bit lower. Faker finally making his presence known as he tries to get over the wall, and does use the ulti to do so, but Kana blast cones himself and will try to get this teleport out. Faker knows that he is going to be able to escape, and Doran just going to grab the soul here, but that fight a lot closer than I think T1 were expecting.
Yeah, it absolutely was. You know, they are able to get a couple kills. They take out Owner, KC, not allowing T1 to actually set up. They just pull the trigger immediately as soon as they see anyone they can go on. They full send it on Owner. He, of course, was able to turn it around, get that kill onto Kalist with the rest of his team, but a couple of kills go the way of KC. The problem is, even if you take down Owner and Keria, Perry's, Faker, Doran, all very strong at this point of the game, and they're going to grab Soul for themselves here as well, as they just continue pushing in these waves, and Owner has secured the Flame Horizon, 222 CS to 116. Not something you see every day. 3 full levels up, 15 to 12.
All right, this might be the fastest Flame Horizon I have ever seen in my life. And also, it's probably the first one in the jungle that I have seen outside of the funnel meta, which was just that's not included.
Dark times.
It was definitely dark times, as the arrow is going to connect onto Faker. There is the unstoppable onslaught and the shockwave. That is a lot of R buttons, but I think it's required in order to make sure that they lock down
There's
this.
no vision at all. And Busio is going to try to move forward and get some vision back, but it is so scary to actually walk in here. And Kalist, I think they're maybe aware of it now, but it just feels like it's way too late. It doesn't matter.
Yike will never get here in time, and so that is going to be the Baron secured. Faker, 5 seconds to go, but they're still just going to send it into that backline. The Encore is decent, but that damage onto Kalist is massive. Owner will be taken out, though, as Keria will also be secured. Yike doing a whole bunch of work here as, oh my, never mind. Fake is going to show up. Kana looking to be taken down here as Busio trying to help out with a bit of drop in the beat, but it's not going to quite work. Yahoo here as well. Doesn't have his ultimate for the next little while, but a couple of seconds and that'll be back up again. And T1, that was a little bit of a bridge too far.
Yeah, they decided to go for that fight, having a bit of fun, I think, in this one, and a few different moments.
Oh, there's the rebuttal. And Kalist not going to get killed by the ulti, but he still has to go home.
Very tanky, but not able to stop that Baron either.
And fun fact, once again, talking about this Nocturne, this is the second largest CS deficit at 25 minutes in international history, as Owner is going to secure a rampage for Pays. 10, 2, and 7 now on the Mel, also having a very good performance, as KC just doing their very best to try and defend. And honestly, their very best is just not going to be enough, not at this stage. So we have a look at the Coinbase gold grind. Owner is just, making good money.
Leave some gold for the other people.
Or maybe just kill the Nexus, and then you don't need to really worry about it. Owner just prove that, that you are the carry, and he absolutely is. And man, what redemption for his Nocturne as well. After that series against Harmalife Esports, just showing that, yes, this is a devastating pick for me. Do not disrespect it. I don't think anyone will for the next little while.
Definitely do not think you can disrespect him on really any team.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Especially after a game like this. Casey yesterday had the second largest gold lead, period, at an international ever.
That's the strategy. They heard that it's only the second largest CS deficit. All right, Yike in a lot of trouble here. Pays looks for the ulti. That was an ambitious one. There's a paranoia. Never mind, not ambitious at all. Now they're going to look to just try and kill them all. Bone Skewer connects. That is 3 on the floor.
Whoa.
Shockwave is incredible as Keria goes down, but he's the only one to fall as the immediate revenge for T1 does come down. The former T1 player is left till last here as Kana will try and charge some Qs underneath these Nexus turrets, but this battle against Faker I don't think is one that he is going to win. Nexus turrets fall, no Elders required here for T1 as they will obliterate KC in the first game.
An incredible first game here to kick things off against KC. Team to the Renekton. In my experience, it can be pretty difficult to actually get effective trades. This I like a lot more. I mentioned the Gragas because I feel like it is a pretty good neutralizing pick into the Renekton. You know,
and probably Doran's best champion.
And you can...
we're not right yet. We're watching the Gromp die first.
Close your eyes, KC fans.
Oh, dear. Isaac has warned you, okay? So do not be surprised. It's okay now. Yeah, Busio just going to get ushered out of the lane. Owner makes his way over. Busio down to 200. Make that 150. The flash forward piece has been made as First Blood is picked up.
Here comes Yike, though.
All right, let's see whether they can clean this one up. Pays down to 100. Kalist now in trouble, though. Headshot comes through, and Yike just puts him down. Owner is able to trade. But that makes it a 2 for 2 in the end.
It did become a 2 for 2.
In trouble. Still doesn't have the flash, remember. Peace once again. And that is another kill onto this Camille. Magical Journey is going to bring them over towards Yike, who tries to get into stealth to try and get out. Nice double stun. But guess what it means? Absolutely nothing as Peacemaker comes through yet again. Yike is still trying to skip around this jungle, just terror shaping and things like that. But Keria has the meep slap and down goes the Kiana.
Surely his teammate down in the bot lane can't be as good at his champion. 12-1?
Yeah, and Pays hasn't been on T1 the whole time. He was just on Gen G before. It's all right. Kana is now having to blow the ultimate. It's going to be able to keep him alive, though, as there is the kill onto Keria in the bottom lane. Pays able to get the net to safety as he finds a headshot onto Kalist as well, but it is a good dive onto the Bard. In the meantime, there is still more happening here in this top lane as Owner does make his way out, and now Kana going to take that as an invitation just to kill Doran if he can. Good body slam does come on through as Pays is taken down, and KC finding some opportunities here on them behind it. Yeah, there's just some Swifties in a rock.
Exactly. You bought Swifties and you bought some mana, so not going to be able to do much there. As Doran trying to keep him off of this tower, but kind of knows he has no explosive cask, so there's not really that risk of the wave just getting one shot and you picking up turret aggro.
Yeah, Busio making his way in though. Hookshot is going to get the stun as Doran gets a bit of his health bar back, but Busio going to be able to withstand that one shot. The flash on in as Owner finds the Q for the kill. Flash away from him as he is getting into a very aggressive position. Scatter the Weak comes down just to make sure that that sphere does connect. And he just moves himself out of the way. So that is the first rate going on over. Cannon now just blowing the ultimate, but the magical journey comes through Cask. He's going to pull the crocodile away from the turret, and that should be the kill. Owner picks up that one as well, moving to 3-1.
Yikes coming behind Faker as well.
Yeah, that is a lot of true shot barrage damage to try and take down the Wukong, as Faker able to get away from this supreme display of talent, but that will not save his turret, or at least maybe it will. Second plate not going to be claimed. Faker will just be going back now.
Yep, and T1 make a play on top side. KC make a play of their own. 3-men go in towards Faker. They force out his flash. But meanwhile, T1 was taking this. They get all 3 grubs back-to-back games, so are going to be feeling pretty good.
Your team just cruising, having a good time, and then it doesn't quite work. As Faker has found Yike, or has Yike found Faker? True shot barrage going to come on through. Busio going to take that kill.
Room deficits, they are never out of it. Their team fighting is so good, and they have such strong playmakers on this team that are very difficult to deal with, as Keria,
I think he might just be dead. Yeah, Supreme Display of Talent does come on down here. It's the flash from Keria looking for the Cosmic Binding onto Canna and Yike, but it does not work.
We'll see who gets first tower. It is going to be pretty close, and the first tower is going to go to KC.
Yeah,
and just like
solo
that,
gold
list is 1.1k up.
Exactly, so gets all of the gold from those plates and gets to hang around for that first. Just get that instant transformation if you're just playing out the game in a normal sense. So really nice pacing so far for KC, as they are going to be able to take Double Dragon as well, and it's a Mountain Solis game.
Mountain actually really strong, honestly, for both sides, because there is a lot of burst in this, a lot of upfront damage, but we want to know, who do you think has the better fandom? Because these are 2 of the teams with some of the largest fandoms in the entire world.
Oh, Pays going to get put into the Hextech Ultimatum. Nowhere to go and will be taken out. Busio able to take...
Tower to stay onto Busio there, but they're going to look for Yike.
Yeah, Yike does throw down the ulti, though, defensively. Ono should have another Cyclone in order to take him down, and actually gets over the wall. But Canna and Yahoo turn up as well, and that is going to be the answering kill onto the jungle. And now Faker dealing with Busio here, and does have to get himself out of the way. Keria taking a little while to die, but he will indeed do that. You've got Pays going for a cross-map.
It has been the most competitive there, but still obviously very heavily favored for T1. Everyone else is that 24-7 record versus the rest of the LEC here. And KC looking to put another one in the win column for their region, but it is very difficult to get across the finish line here against a team like T1. But it is KC with the gold lead, with the objective lead. Have the ability here in 2 minutes to try to grab that 3rd dragon, move towards that Mountain Soul that would be so nice for them, as they are going to be able to take a tower.
Yeah, nice charge to come on through here as the tower will be going down. Shelly should be ushered towards the inner turret as well. As True Shot Barrage will be avoided by Faker going the same direction that he was going already.
Oh, they're trying to set a trap. Owner is actually here. They're going to look for Yehu.
Yeah, they do get out, and there is the Unleashed Power out.
Able to grab the red buff. He also used his barrier there. They're TPing in deep. Kana's looking for a fast start to this fight.
Yeah, in goes Busio. Is going to lock down Faker. He's going to die for it, but look at that stun from Yike. Absolutely massive, and Kana gets into that backline. Pays going to have to try and net himself out of there, but netting a crocodile, that is a difficult option as he flashes to catch the blast cone, and now Pays. I don't know how you're supposed to get out of this one with a full health Croc, but he's going to try his very best to do as much damage before he goes down. Kana taking that turret shot, and he will fall. But it is 2 kills going over to Yehu. This Cassiopeia is massive.
I stand there. There's no way Owner's going to be able to steal this. Not with Busio hunting for you. I don't think you can get there in time. So that is sole point for KC. You could see the
KC were looking for in this game. As now Yehu, speaking of looking for things, he's going to find Faker. Scatter the Weak is not going to work because he's not very weak. And there is the last Twin Fang to take him down. The Unleashed Power. We're going to lock down Busio here as Doran making his way in. He is unseen as he looks for the angle. Body Slam doesn't work, but there is the cast. Supreme Display and Talent onto only the tank. And they take out Kalist before anything had even happened. And it's just free hitting for Pays. Kana with a massive ultimate, but it doesn't do anything. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. T1 just win a team fight, take a Baron, and they're back in control. How annoying is it, Azael?
How do they keep doing it every damn time? T1 find a way to make the magic happen, losing all game long. We're talking about the soul, but they find the fight beside the barrier. With Camille and Kiana, you got to be perfect.
Well, they're going to look for it here as Busio gets over the wall with a hook shot. The dash cannon to try and get him out of there, but that Hextech ultimatum not really working as Kanna gets into the backline, looking for Faker. The unleashed power, though, and he's taking so much damage. Pays, untouched, finds the auto attack as he gets over the wall, and it's a double here. Ona with the Nimbus strike, looking for Kalist, and that ace and hole doesn't work because his target has already been taken down. And I just feel like T1 have made it out of the trough, and now they're just skipping to the finish line. As Faker eating some honey fruit, Pays looking a little bit worse for wear. But yeah, who cannot step up. Yike, similar story as T1 look to deny the soul and get themselves back into this driving seat. 3,000 gold on the Red Bull Baron power play, and Yike, ace in the hole finally comes
Busio's
back up again, and Busio is going to get on
have
forward.
The damage to finish off Pays and Faker.
And you know what it was? It was the locket from Keria. Gets on in there, gets the big old shield to come on over.
Here's TP.
And now another flank angle. Supreme display of talent. They're looking for Faker. They should be able to lock him down. Takes a little bit longer to get him. And now Owner is in no man's land. That, oh my God, takes down Yike. It was suicide, but he manages to take his opposite number with him. And now Doran, he just wants to teleport out, and he will be able to do so.
Fight from Yehu, because in most of the actual big team fights, he hasn't really been able to get super involved. Busio looking again.
I believe Pays is dead. He's going to go golden for a few moments thanks to Keria, but then will be shut down. That is money over to Kalist as well. Does have the last whisper. So just went for as much flat AD as possible before the last fight, I guess, as Busio now in a little bit of trouble. Scat of the Week is not going to connect, but the Cyclone a little bit more difficult.
It's going to be really hard. It's kind of up to Yike and Yehu here on the side. Can they find an angle?
Onus Smite Button has been pretty good so far this tournament, and he also has Doran available. Supreme display of talent, not quite doing enough. Doran's so tanky. Yike can get in here, but it's not going to be enough. And they take the Baron in trade for their top laner.
But the problem is, now you have to fight Soul, and you just lost Dorian for that. I don't think it was worth it.
goes in, and he finds such a beautiful angle. Slicing and dicing does go down, but he's done so much damage as Yike has to flash away. If T1 can actually get a reset in before this Dragon, then it's possible. But it's 5 seconds, and they have to make their way back out onto the Rift.
Yeah, KC can just rush it. It should be theirs, I think. You can see Pace is just going towards top side here. They're going to actually TP for this. I'm not sure why Pace is not coming if they're going to commit to the play, because Faker is in the area. He's trying to see, can I get there and make a magical steal? Cannot make it happen.
It is impossible. So that is the Mountain Soul to come through for KC. And now 6 minutes on the clock
and now
until the Elder's up. Yeah, I think Faker is probably just dead. Yeah, Hextech Ultimatum comes down. Doesn't find the Scat of the Week onto Yehu either, as Busio is still trying to chase him down. Faker buying as much time as possible, but those Twin Fangs are unavoidable. And T1, they are just trying to deny the backs so that Pays can take an inhibitor turret. And perhaps that is going to work, as Yehu's teleported over, looking for a bit of an angle towards these two here that are just trying to buy space, trying to buy time. They've got a blast going to get themselves out. And Supreme Display of Talent will get the kill onto Keria, and Kanna did make it back to deny the Caitlyn. There's a cask to get some space for Owner as well. Looking for the bottom lane, so sees the red dots and does not see the Camille. As Pays going to get engaged on there, as let's see whether Keria can find the ulti. Does manage to get Pays golden, but it's going to take some time. Does find the angle there as well. Supreme Display of Talent is fantastic, but double GAs are going to be popped here for T1. Magical Journey comes over, trying to buy this space as Kanna is taken out. Kalist gets scattered here by Faker as it's a double for Doran, who doesn't seem able to lose health. Oh, Kalist taking matters into his own hands, not able to quite land that Mystic shot though, and now it's Owner making his way in. Yehu has to flash away, and Pays flashes in to secure the win for T1. Oh, this team just makes too much magic.
Busio is great, but Keria is the greatest of all time. It shows you why. The defensive Bartle, the portal to get Pays out after the GA, the locket to buy the time. Everything was perfectly played from Keria to get Pays out of there and get T1 their second win.
and match point in this series as well. The unleashed power to come through. I think Busio deserves that, as he has been absolutely amazing in this game. Unfortunately, it was not enough, as Yike, he's going to get scattered, he's going to get taken out, and it's going to be the Nexus turrets falling. But this game, nothing like what we saw in game one, as KC, they really... That's what I was thinking. I'm like, this is a bit of a scary one, picking it into the arc that's already there. But we did see kind of like pick a Na into a theoretical losing matchup yesterday, and he obliterated it. So
it's just
should
comfort,
be fine.
right? Like, he just loves this champion, and I will say in general, and Owner is now down here with no flash on Varus.
Yeah, Yike is here as well, though, going for a little bit of a defensive play. There's the flash flag and drag, but the Xin Zhao is there to meet them. Callisto just getting taken down. It's going to be first blood over to Owner. Yike trying to make sure that they can at least get one back, but he is dead as well. Busio running for the hills, and it's a 2-for-1 for T1.
Yeah, I always love to watch when you're watching the best players in the world, right? They just have so much thought.
Oh dear, Busio is just dead. In the meantime, Pay's in a little bit of trouble, but obviously Faker is here, and he's looking to try and lock down the kill onto Calist. He'll get there, 100 health on Pay's. That is
They are just getting blasted right now, and Yike is going to come down and try to help them out, but he is spotted. Owner is still in the area, and this bot lane cannot breathe.
Yeah, clears the ward, but now you've got the Jarvan moving down. They know exactly where Yike is. He knows that he's seen, as Doran taking a lot of damage here as well. There's the Ghoulie wall down, and Kana should be able to get this solo kill, but the Q comes in, finds the boulder, and will be able to get rid of the Arc. In the meantime, Faker very close to death as well, but that solo kill from Kana might be a bit of hope back for KC.
Yeah, no
what is
kidding
happening here
in this game? Like, what is my point?
And Na is very good in side lanes, but also a fantastic team fighter as well. We know that Doran can make things work in team fights on a lot of champions. His team fight Olaf, for example, some of the best that we've ever seen. Yorick is a difficult one to make work, but you haven't actually reached for it, though, so I don't know why I'm being mean. Let's have a look at this little fight towards the top side, though, as the Na back is beautiful onto Doran. He does have some ghoulies here, but he is just going to be dropped down, and that is a beautiful play from KC on the front foot once again. And I really like this. I feel like KC have just not been perturbed by the difficult... I feel like Doran throughout his career has been very good at that. Very good at the get in the backpack.
Goes right up in there.
Oh, he does. He fits real nicely as Busio taking a lot of damage. Wind becomes lightning, going to misses. There's the culling from Pays. He's spacing beautifully as Busio taking a lot of damage himself, as that's a relentless pursuit in from Pays at the result of that play, and Keria throws down the ulti. He was holding on to that one, but he still takes so much from the piercing arrow.
Owner's here.
In the meantime, exactly right. If you start that fight, you're going to have to make sure you finish it quickly, otherwise T1 will rotate over. But Owner is going to be taking a lot of damage here. There's a Cataclysm. He finds a flag and drag towards Kalist, but he has a brilliant barrier to keep him alive. But T1 also absolutely fine. Yehu in this mid lane doing a lot of damage to Faker and holding him in the lane. That is the main thing. As a teleport behind is looking to try and finish this one off. Yeah. Gets himself out of there as Yike just gets destroyed by Pays. Gets over the wall, picks up the double and Kana. Can he protect this? 1 versus 3. His health bar is massive. We're looking at Faker going down potentially here in this mid lane, but T1, they get away.
That fire kick was looking pretty ultra mega to me. He knocks him back and
also denies the back with the next one as Yehu finds a solo volo onto Faker and doesn't take the turret shot like this. Right on the edge in order to eke out the amount of damage to get value out of this champion. Pays has been devastating on this pick before, and he is demonstrating that right here at MSI. Feels like one of his best tournaments that he has had. Everyone remembers that 28 kill Kalista game. This guy is pretty comfortable here as Busio looking for an angle towards Doran. He does get locked down with those tangle barbs. Is Kana looking for an angle, but Doran is going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Kana had a very optimistic Gnar that he threw the ult over onto Owner, but Owner was already out of there. And if he had his ult there, I think he do kill Doran. So unfortunately, won't be able to get it, and now Owner and Keria up here to protect him. And look at Pays. No one is down there answering Pays, so he is going to be able to grab that first tower. They're already up 2K here. And congratulations to Owner, who has now moved to third all-time on
older than your older brother. It just doesn't ever really work. As, all right, Owner is going to be able to take down this Drake. That is going to be the second one locked in, and it's a Hextech Soul this game as well. A scary one for KC to be staring down the barrel of, but they are not going to react to it. They are just going to kill Doran again. That's going to be their plan, as Doran does find a bit of health back with that Q, and actually it's taking a while to kill him. Kana will be able to do it, but it does take a little bit of time. 3-0 here. Like, all of the eggs are in the Nah basket.
They absolutely are, and it is a good basket to have. It is the ultimate comfort champ here for Kana. We'll see if he can get something done in this game. Busio just playing towards that lane, gets up towards the top side.
Kill Doran again is what I'm seeing. Yahoo moving on down here. There are a lot of plates up and available. Doran takes more than half of his health bar from a bear drop. But now T1 looking for a fight on the opposite side. The culling just thrown into Busio and Kalist, and Busio looks to be the target here. As Doran is dead once again, but is the cross-map play available for T1? And Ona says absolutely it is. Fire kick going to connect, and Kalist just needs another double tap as a light slinger who will be able to take down the Varus. So 1-for-1 across the map here as Doran moves to 0-4. But that's a 3-0 for Pays.
Yeah, and Pays is the one getting all the gold. He is so strong. They're going to look for Ona, though.
Yeah, and they will find him. Ona doesn't have a lot of friends in the area, and he knows that he's dead. So a weird position for the Jarvan to be.
It is, but he has the bear, he has the cleanse, and he has Doran and Owner and Faker who are there to basically just keep him safe.
Yeah, and Yike taking so much damage. He flashes in to get the knock-up onto Pays, but he gets himself out. He's got the ulti from Keria to keep him alive as Yike goes in, but Doran just being that front line. The knock comes back though as Kana turns up. Faker on the flank angle is able to take down the jungler as a Pop Blossom only picks up Ona, and Ona doesn't really care about that. The dash forward from Pays, and they will be able to lock down that kill on the opposite. Would have been really good to locking down this dragon, but still KC with the inside track, and Doran, he's got teleport, but he is just moving towards that top side, getting the Maiden to work on the inner turret potentially. And it looks like T1 will sacrifice this Drake. And the power of the double dragon for T1 is very, very strong. Because now they can use it to get control of this mid lane. They've also got the Yorick moving towards the top side. So a Drake sacrifice for so much more on T1's side.
For basically 2 full towers is what they're going to get here. And they're actually looking for a charge on the third one as well. Pays is going to drive this in, which always makes me a little bit nervous. And they're going to be playing around keeping Pays safe here. So Pays needs to play well, but we're expecting him to do it.
Well, Busio finds the pop, well, almost finds the Pop Blossom, and now the Realm Warp just to try and get themselves into the fight. That is a brilliant start for KC, though, as Owner is just dead immediately. Faker follows suit, and T1 bit off more than they could chew. The flash, and down goes Pays, massive shutdown, and of course that money goes to the now legendary Kana.
Yeah, that's a 1K going to Kana there, as they're going to go straight to the Baron, and they're going to get the Baron here for free. This is crazy. The Realm Warp there was suicidal from Faker.
It was.
They take the Realm Warp in, but Yahoo has all his abilities. You're Realm Warping into the anti-stun. You still have to pay some respect to the damage that they can do. Yeah, you had killed someone, but it was just Busio. Everyone else had everything available there. Massive lead.
And not to mention the fact that this Rebel Baron power play can be used to get themselves a second Hextech Dragon as well. And having a look here, this is KC on that comeback. T1 though, when the tempo vibes move against them, that is generally the happiest they become. As Faker, what is he doing there?
Well, he's just split pushing, and they're going to try to just trade here on the other side. Kana.
Yeah, Kana versus Pays looks to be a bit of a 1v1 battle, but Keria is there to support. As now Yahoo is going to find Faker as well. Kana is just going to be taken down though, and Pays returns the favor and picks up the shutdown money himself. Faker is going to be able to get himself back.
That's a good one. Just bad news if you are a KC fan.
Doesn't feel very good. The good news is that it's not actually Soul, because they were able to deny the man with the most money on the Rift. And they certainly do. Faker with that global taunt still there, as it has been for so many years. As Owner just presses Cataclysm, gets himself out of it. That is going to buy as much space as they can get to try and keep this inner turret alive.
That was actually pretty critical that Yike had the Krugs there, because he was able to just dash out of the Cataclysm to the Krugs. Had they not been there, I think the vision that Owner had is he Cataclysms in by the tower, Faker one-shots the minions, he takes aggro, has to flash out, has to do something.
Yeah.
But instead, able to get out of there, no problem.
I've seen this play before, as Pace just goes into melee range with a mini-Gnar, and he's happy to do so! Chases him down relentlessly! T1, they always think about Baron. That is the thing. And Yike actually just going to get dashed on by Pays. The Crescent Guard comes in as they look to try and use Ona to peel, and down he will go to the GA. Yeah, who is just dead in an instant. You were mentioning the DPS on the culling, and my God, T1 are just going to mow them down. The Gnar to 4. from the grave. That one was a little bit too late for Kana.
That's
and
it.
speaking of too late, it's too late for KC in this series. I think this one's over.
It's absolutely over. A 5-0 clean ace, 27 minutes in. T1, make no mistake about it.
10-1-7 on Pays. This Lucian absolutely dominating in this game number 3, and T1 will move forward here in the play-ins and remain undefeated.
This T1 bot lane, man, favorite in play-ins.
And who gets the player of the match, man? Is it Keria or Pays? That's
Yes.
the hard question. Yeah, let's just give it to both of them.
Yeah.
Bottom lane.
We give it to the bottom lane. Desk, what do you think about it?
Right? They could
That's
definitely
part
share
of
with
being
each
a
other.
good bot lane is sharing.
Yeah, yeah.
It's probably one of the
Pays,
best parts
What's
here.
mine is yours. Holy moly,
Keria?
though. Pays is just gliding on them in the last game. That was insane.
Why don't my Lucians do that?
Because I'm your Lucian.
There it is. Again,
Oh my goodness.
another dominant performance by T1. Difficult to figure out who is going to take it, but your Oppo player
Doran.
of the series, not Doran, is Keria. Keria is the Oppo player of the series. He did fantastic there in that last one, but also going back to the Bard game, being given his best champions, he delivered on every single moment.
And he was a terror in the Pike game. It,
Oh,
it
yeah.
felt like every game was him initiating the action, and I do think it was definitely difficult. It's one of those player of the games where you're like, can we share it? Can we like have a really cursed Photoshop of both bot laners like combined together? But no, because I do think a lot of what the early action was especially in the Pike game for me, it was him constantly finding it.
this
This flash prediction was just so sick. It's going to show up in the eventual highlight reel of his career, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, he was just styling on them. Just some phenomenal play on the Pike, phenomenal play on the Bard. Milio playing that supportive role for Pays, but I think it deserves a mention. Both these players, not much time playing together, and yet they just seem so rock solid as a duo and so much trust in each other. Pays, he will dive forwards knowing he has the backing of his support there, challenging Kana, who was hyper fed at this point, but he knows Keria has his back.
Hello.
I think he was saying happy birthday, Kobe.
That's so nice. That's what
Thank you.
No, Keria's facing that way, looking at you.
I
Yeah.
see it.
He's just multitasking, as this was the bloodiest 3-0 in international history.
Fun to watch.
There it
We
is.
are at the 11th MSI, 16th year of League, LoL Esports, and we continue to make records. So many kills, and again, if you're a KC fan, the opportunity was there. There were opportunities.
I think there's two aspects with it being the bloodiest series. One, Casey put up a good fight despite the series score, and two, the circus is in town. The circus has arrived in Daejeon. It was on display, and it was very fun to watch.
I just want to say, I did vote for Pays. You know, I'm happy with Keria also getting it too, but look at that Lucian bar at the bottom. Holy moly, he was doing some work.
That last team fight, straight up shock and awe. Like the ulti straight down on Yehu, like the Lucian ulti, immediately flashes away from the Nico ultimate. Like, he played those moments so perfectly.
He made it out the yiking game.
Yes,
You know, oh, man.
all of it. That was incredible to see. And we're all in danger.
True. Wait a second, we're still in there too. Yeah.
good luck.
Everyone's still alive, and again, the fact that T1 do it in a 3-0 fashion, saving strats not only for potentially later on in the tournament, but that qualifying play-in game. They are one best-of-5 series away from making it into that main stage, and they just look like the best team here.
I mean, they did go for the play-ins for Worlds last year, and they won Worlds.
That was a short play-ins, but I just think right now, with it only being one spot, it looks so tough for these other teams. The fact they still haven't dropped a game, it's messy, but the decisiveness in the team fights is just so hard to match. You know, we've seen even HLE in their series en road to MSI had early leads, and there was that game where T1 just fought their way back from basically nothing. They are a team you cannot disrespect, cannot give it a single window to.
I will say, we're not focusing a lot on it because T1 keep winning, but top lane, maybe we'll focus on that later.
At some point.
Raz, final thoughts.
Oh my God. I thought they needed to warm up a little bit in play-ins. I think they're scorching red hot.
I think that they're warming. That's what warming up looks like.
Yeah, that Bunsen burner started immediately.
Yeah.
So that's tough.
Yeah, going to be pretty difficult for anyone to stop them. One series away from making it in to the main stage. We are seconds away from being joined on stage by that Oppo player of the series in the Verizon post-game interview. We're joining Keria. Let's send it on over now.
MSI 2026 플레인 스테이지 2라운드 승자죠.
MSI 2026 playing stage round 2 winners match.
완벽한 승리를 거두며
T1 take
4라운드에
a
진출합니다.
perfect 3-0 victory over Karmine
선수와
Corp
인터뷰
and
나눠보겠습니다.
advance to the next
승리
round.
축하드립니다.
Joining us now is T1 support Keria. Congratulations on the win.
대전에 왔으니
Thank you very much.
케리아 선수에게도
Since we are in
여쭤봐야겠죠.
Daejeon,
케리아 선수,
I have to ask you this
빵
too.
좋아하시나요?
Keria, do you like bread?
네, 제가 빵을 또 좋아하는데
I
최근에
love
또
bread.
주말 사이에 또 3대 빵이라는 빵을 좀 좋아하게
Especially
됐습니다.
the recent trend, the trending bread right now is the 3-0 bread, and I think we were able to bake that up.
맛이었던가요?
And with
담백한 것
yesterday and
같습니다.
today's
좋습니다.
victory combined, how did that
T1이
6-0 bagel you
진출에
baked
성공하면서
taste?
브레이크 스테이지에
It was
한
really
발 더
good. I liked it.
다가섭니다. 카르민 코프 상대로 승리한 소감 여쭤보겠습니다.
With this win, you guys moved one more step closer to the bracket stage. How do you feel after taking down KC?
재밌게 플레이할 수 있을 거라 생각했는데
KC is one of the strong teams, and
네, 그리고
they have a
바드가
lot
나온
of
2세트 얘기를 안 할
experience.
수가 없습니다.
So
이
we were
세트는
looking forward to the
T1
matchup, and I
선수들의
think we were able
시그니처
to
픽이
have a
등장을
great
했는데요.
game together.
케리아에게 바드를 풀어? 다들 이런 생각했을
And then
텐데
in game
케리아
2,
선수는 어떤 생각 드셨나요?
KC let your bard
요즘
through.
근데 바드 할
How
때마다
did
좀
it
그
feel
정도
from your
아니었어가지고
side?
좀 더 노력해야 될 것
Honestly, my
같고
recent bard plays was not up to the expectations, so
좀만 더 풀어주셨으면
I wish
좋겠습니다.
other teams also let it through so that I can
연습할 수 있게
practice bard a little more.
좋습니다. 너무 잘하시더라고요. T1의 한 방은 정말 대단했습니다. 중후반까지 핑퐁 과정을 주고받다가
And T1, the
엄청난
game
한타력으로
was going
경기를
back and
끝내버리는
forth,
장면들이
but the
자주
team
나오는데요.
fight
어떻게
was
가능하다고
the key to
생각하시나요?
success. How
팀원들 좀
are
전체적으로
T1 always
조합의
able
이해도도
to
높고
turn the
또
game around with
본인들이
team
해야 할
fights?
수 있는 역할들
We had such a great comp,
이상으로 또 뽑아내는
and
수행
in the mid
능력이
to the
생각해서
late game,
그렇게
we
좀
all
좋게
know
나온 것
what to
같습니다.
do,
팀원들에 대한
how to
신뢰와
play out the
호흡이
game
잘
in order to
맞았던
get the
것
win.
같습니다.
So I think
케리아
it's a combination
선수의
of all that.
5번째 MSI입니다. MSI
And Keria,
무대를
this
처음
is your fifth
밟았던
MSI.
2022년과 지금을 비교했을 때
Compared
케리아
to
선수
when you
스스로
first
가장
stepped onto the
달라진 점이
MSI
있다면
stage in
어떤 점일까요?
2022, what do you think has changed the most?
역대포시 되고 싶었는데 지금은 좀 자신 있게
Back then, I
역대포시
really
되지
wanted to
않았나
be the
싶습니다.
GOAT support. But
역대포는
right now,
T1의
I can
케리아
say
선수
I am the
모두가
GOAT
인정합니다.
support itself.
그리고 한 번만 더 승리하게 되면 브레이크
just
스테이지로 향하게
one
됩니다.
more win, you will be heading to the bracket
어떤
stage.
폼으로 임할 예정이신지
What kinds
각오
of mindset
여쭙겠습니다.
and ambition will you bring to the
지금까지는
next
그래도
match?
코인이 있어가지고 좀 재밌겠는데 다음
So
경기는
far,
지면 바로 탈락이
it was a double elimination format, so I was not too scared. But next one, we have to lock in. You know, one loss and we're out, so we're gonna lock in.
다시 한번 승리 축하드립니다.
Thank you very much, Keria, and please give it up one more time for the GOAT support itself, Keria. Thank you very much.
And Yike actually is going to get dashed on by Pays. The Crescent Guard comes in as they look to try and use Ona to peel, and down he will go to the GA. Yeah, who is just dead in an instant. You were mentioning the DPS on the culling, and my God, T1 are just going to mow them down. The Nan to 4 from the grave. That one